Okay, well, I'm sure many of you have made mistakes in your life or have falling outs with friends or maybe even family members. And this quote, "To err is human, to forgive is not company policy." I read this one and I knew this is the one I wanted to do because I've had experience with it, and it's very true. Forgiveness you have to earn, I think, and I think as you get older, it's harder to forgive. And starting off with my 3 nephews who are 11 and younger, it's very easy for them to forgive. I've seen it like maybe 5 times in one day, like arguing about, well, no, I want the big sword, or no, I'm supposed to be it, but they forgive each other because they want to keep playing. But as you get older, sometimes the issues aren't what toys you want to play with. Sometimes it can be more serious. Like in high school, a friend and I, we didn't see eye to eye on basically, I guess, morals. It was rough. It took a long time for me to forgive her for the things that I felt she wronged me with, but with time we mended our wounds, but it was definitely harder to forgive her. And I think, especially with parents, I think once you disobey that trust with them, it's harder for them to forgive us, I think, in some respects, especially when they're worried sick about you. And I've learned this the hard way. I was out with friends and I was like maybe 14, 15, so I didn't have a way to get home. And a friend of mine said, "Oh, I'll just take you home," but they told me specifically, "I will pick you up here at this time," and I was not there at that time because I was already home. But they didn't know that. And of course, I got in a lot of trouble that day. And I was in the doghouse for maybe like a week. Because it's trust that I think that people break, and that's why it takes longer as we get older to forgive people, because the trust is broken. And that's why I agree with this quote from Anonymous, whoever this person is, because from my personal experience, it's very true.
Shut up, I am safe.
This is gonna act. The happiest place up there. You'll be safe there.
You're so mean.
All right, well, I thought that the thesis statement was really very clear. Your posture looks confident for the most part. I like the conclusion at the end of the speech. Those things are the most solid parts of the presentation. The attention device was also pretty good, a nice visualization at the beginning of the speech. I thought actually the content was good. You used good examples. There's not really a layout of what the preview is going to be, but as I'm listening to it, it sounds kind of like you're doing an age-relevant kind of a chronological progression here as kids, in high school, and from the point of view of parents. So I see a little bit of a structure, and maybe that's one of the things that made it easier for you to talk about this. So I thought that the material developed pretty well. I think your voice could project a little bit more and maybe have a little bit more energy. There's nothing problematic about it except that we're listening to a bunch of speeches and you want it to be as memorable as possible, and I think the energy could help there. Your gestures are a little bit limited. Once in a while you have an indicator, but frequently you are kind of gripping your own hands, and so that you're not doing anything distracting with them, but you're also not engaging as much as you might. Your facial expressions are pretty solid. Your eye contact with me is really good. I think this side of the room probably feels very included. That side of the room a little bit less so. Don't forget that they're part of your audience too. And that's just one of those things that happens, I know, because I'm doing the evaluation. People think, well, I better pay attention to him, which I appreciate, but I'm also trying to watch and make sure that you are distributing your eye contact. And like I said, I thought you had a good summary at the end too. Thank you.